The Royals entered the World Series red hot, sweeping every opponent in their way and winning 8 straight games this postseason. After 5 days off, they looked like a different team and lost Game 1 last night to the Giants, 7-1. James Shields was anything but Big Game James, giving away 3 runs in the first inning alone. And we're putting the Royals on the hook. Will they win Game 2 tonight? Stephen A.
I don't think so. It wouldn't surprise me at all if the Royals ended up getting swept. I don't think it will happen.
So I thought you were going for a sweep already.
I don't think it will happen. I think I'll give them one. But the San Francisco Giants are no joke. Bumgarner is just a real deal. 21 scoreless innings in the World Series before giving up that home run in the 7th inning, I believe. This dude was absolutely sensational. Skip, I saw one moment where he threw a 93-mile-per-hour fastball. His next pitch was a curveball at 70 miles per hour. Yeah. I mean, this dude was he was just hitting his spots. He was going high and in on right-handed hitters, low or high and away on lefties. He was absolutely sensational. It was just that simple. They put up a 3 spot in the first inning. And then I watched Bochy, which is one of the reasons, once again, why he's such an exceptional manager. You get a cushion, you get a lead. What do? You get Ishikawa out of there, and you bring in. I think it was Juan Perez. Why? For defensive purposes. Yep. This guy is constantly thinking ahead, and I think Big Game James has been anything but. We know his ERA was over 7 in postseason action. Hasn't been himself. Hasn't been impressive at all. Been anything but Big Game James. But I thought he was hurt also by the umpire because he was throwing balls right on the outside, right on the edge of the plate. Got squeezed. Wasn't getting a call. So as a result, he came in a little bit more, and it was right over the plate. And San Francisco was going to expose that all night long. They're just experienced. You got Sandoval with a 24 game. You're getting on base in 24 consecutive postseason games. You look at Bumgarner. He's 3-0 in the World Series, and in the postseason, a 32 2/3 innings scoreless streak up until the 7th inning last night. When you look at them, I'm just saying to myself, they're just a superior team. They're experienced. They've been here before. They know what they're doing. And even though I'm suspect on PV because his ERA is like over 7, and I'm not that impressed with him, he is gutsy. He does show up, and he keeps you in the game. And to me, that's all Bochy and Posey and this crew needs. They've got to win tonight. If the Kansas City Royals do not win Game 2 tonight, I'm going to sit there and I'm going to pick them to win tonight's game, Skip, just for the Kansas City, just for the purposes of them not getting swept. Because if they lose tonight, they will get swept.
Your first inclination was they're going to lose tonight.
I just think I know they're going to lose this series. I know San Francisco's the better team. It's just a matter of whether it's
well, you didn't know. Your deep source in California.
Jeff Brown.
My man Jeff Brown. That's my resident baseball guru. Or it could be Pops.
He followed me on Twitter the other day after you said that.
The minute I said that, he said he was going to start following you two just to highlight for y'all how right I am.
Okay.
But it's because of his expertise.
It's because of
Northern
or Southern California?
It's Southern California. He lives about 30 minutes outside of L.A.
Okay, well, then what's he know about the Giants?
But he's a native New Yorker, and he's a baseball aficionado, loves his baseball. Nobody knows more than my pops. So the combination of my pops and Jeff, I'm good.
Yeah.
So I'm going to give love to Jeff Brown, but Papa Smith, Ashley Basil Smith, my pops, he knows his baseball too.
So full circle, you are picking the Royals tonight.
Back to the question.
I'm going to roll. I'm going to roll with the Royals tonight only because I don't want to disrespect them by assuming they're going to get swept. But they are losing this series. They are not winning.
If they lose tonight, they are in grave danger of getting swept.
They lose tonight, they're getting swept.
Okay. So the big question here is, did the bubble get burst last night?
Okay.
Yes.
Or maybe the better question is, did the dam burst? And all those emotion-packed momentum feelings that were built through the first 8 games of the playoffs, did they get washed away in one foul night?
I see.
7-1. I'm going to say no. I'm going to say this team bounces back and wins impressively tonight. I'm not the biggest PV fan. I think he is beatable. I think he's gettable, especially for this team in this park at home. They're going to have to pick themselves up off the map because I don't think they saw that coming.
Yep.
They didn't see Hunter Pence in the first inning, who was 0 for 11 against Big Game James, who had not hit a home run over the last 50 days, going deep to suddenly make it 3-1, and it felt like, 3-0, and it felt like 30-0 to me with Madison Bumgarner on the mound. It was one of those nights, Stephen, if you watch closely, in which I thought the Royals hit a lot of hard balls off Bumgarner.
Yeah.
They hit a lot of shots that got caught. you know how weird baseball is. Some nights you hit them where they are, and people catch it. And you say, God, we hung in. We had so many good at-bats, and nothing happened. So what happened in the third? They get second and third and nobody out, and you can't cash one time? Well, that's a problem. So I think they bounce back. Now, they got a 23-year-old on the mound tonight, and this is effectively his first year in the big leagues, Ventura.
Right. And remember what happened when he came in the postseason?
But he got thrown in relief for the first time in, I assume, his career. I don't know if he pitched in relief in the minors or not. But he got lit up, but then they came back, and you remember they beat John Lester. They came back from 7-3 down.
Sensational.
I don't know how they did that. That made their whole year. But I'm going to say that the kid pitches very well tonight. He will pitch with poise, and he will pitch well enough for them to win by 3 or 4 runs. And you'll say tomorrow, uh-oh, it's a series.
Okay.
I hope you're right, because I root for series. I can't stand blowouts. But San Francisco is so seasoned, so experienced. And if the games are tight, even though their bullpen with Herrera, with Wilson, with Holland is lethal, and we understand that, you know, not to mention this kid Finnegan as well, I look at San Francisco and just the manner in which Bochy uses his bullpen. I mean, he just throws a whole bunch of stuff at you, and I just like what I see from these guys. I just do.